It's another glorious day in the world of the Grimsby to glory. But if you've seen who we've got in the Champions League, I'm a little bit bummed out.
Grimsby Town have caught a whopper. Look what it means to the people of this town.
As yes, people, we'll start with the Premier League, because that's what we've got next. Brighton, who are 6th, might risk a simulation, however, because Arsenal are above us. And I just spoke on that Champions League, which, yes, we play them in. I couldn't believe my luck when I saw it. And I think the run I'm going to do with the Champions League, yes, it's a little bit risky, but I'm going to simulate the first leg and go and play the second. Hopefully it gets us through. We've got plenty of room in this next month for the Champions League, as we're almost at the end of the season. We did sim a lot last year. Oh, sorry, at the start of this episode, the team is getting there on fitness, but Brighton, always a struggle. Brihan Gruder and Thiago, I think it was. We've definitely got to change up for the FA Cup Crystal Palace. We've been focusing on this a little bit more. This is the round of 16, and the team is definitely changing. The dynamic trio at the top of the field was previously going well for us, and Dara Burns, in his final season, nets a goal. But it was Dexter Elliott actually getting dismissed. And that's a perfect start to the episode, ain't it? I think it's the Champions League up next. Arsenal. And we're yet to win an actual trophy in this rebuild, which isn't a promotion one, which is weird. We've got Noah Kenny suspended, but Malang Sarr returns, so our fitness issues should be slightly more on hold. Rutherford definitely out. I'm hoping he can get a rating increase, because Chukwuemeka is doing well. And a 0-0 draw away at the Emirates Stadium, however. I kind of accepted that they were going to win that game because we're on their trails in the league. But they lost their last game and we're still 1 point behind them. With much needed rotation going into Aston Villa, and we still managed to win the game. Carney Chukwuemeka, man. He is a really solid player. However, he isn't in this squad, and Hergsberg isn't. He's got a slight fitness issue, which he's had for a while, and I cannot seem to actually correct him from. We are at Blundell Park in a Champions League knockout game. I think we've got a great opportunity. Arsenal, yes, they've been tricky in the past, but lads, this is one off. And of course, the kit change. You pesky gunners, you, as Kamada into Declan Rice. Need a big tackle. Adam Wharton could be key today. Him and Garoxtia in the middle, as now goes Rutherford. In the team, just over Carney Chukwuemeka, regular running too close to him. Cameron Gardner likes a low-down shot! That is earlier than I expected it, but our number 27, an original Grimsby Town player, gets a Champions League knockout goal. I beg that actually knocks out Arsenal, as that's a good ball across the field. However, we've stalled for a little bit of time, pushed Arsenal back a bit, but Bukayo Saka against Mamadou Sarr, who's gone down 2 ratings with that injury he suffered. We've slid in. Oh my days, that was dodgy. Grimsby Town surviving, however, and maybe we've got a little attack right here. It is regular into Rutherford. No handball. Should I have risked that? Maybe not. But the Champions League night is going Grimsby Town's way. Pesky Gunners, as Noah Kenny back in the team for this one after suspension. We need a second goal. I think they'll have a big 45 minutes, and Rutherford's allowed the space to roam. Wharton out on the wing to regular. Now gives it into Cameron Gardner. He's gone for the acrobatics as Gomez Rodriguez. And this is where I make precautionary substitutions. Maybe risky, but Rutherford's coming off the field. Gomez himself for Mehmeti and Chukwuemeka. We've got a seeing out job to do, and we need the fitness on the field. Hergsberg really struggling with that fitness, but it's a good job we're actually in front here, not requiring him. Regular at the edge of the box. It's Carney Chukwuemeka with a turn out there, and Pacho strikes the head. Nice start by Carney, and we're going to keep with the short corners here because we definitely don't want to lose the ball willy-nilly, and I'm not going to risk the edge of the box if it's not on. Adam Wharton. Wharton allowed to run through the field. He chips it out wide. Carney Chukwuemeka with the ball towards Cameron Gardner at the back post. Away from the danger, but still there's no danger. Arsenal, we are just pushing back. I'm lunging in to cut passing lanes off. Still, though, they've got it through to Kamada, and Mahmoud has picked the very wrong option. They had one through the middle. We're shuffling across right here to the captain, still trying to keep out the Gunners. Very late on, there's them 10 added minutes. which I dread, and we didn't get last time against Arsenal when chasing them for the Premier League. Declan Rice, Chukwuemeka takes him out. Could be a red card as well, this one. In the last minutes of the game, it's only a yellow. Very surprised as we're trying to keep the clock down, and I'm surprised Saka's gone for the shot. It was off target as well. Let's eat some minutes up with Gomez to see the game out. And I think it's the new sweatshirt. Grimsby Town have beaten the Gunners. They progress in the knockouts. Oh, but the next game, it's Bayern Munich for goodness sake. Them and Paris Saint-Germain, the only teams I fear there. As let's think about this, we've beaten AC Milan, Newcastle we've beaten in our league, Frankfurt, Porto and Lisbon. No offence, but are definitely winnable games as it's Burnley bottom against top. And we have got to avoid this banana skin with the Champions League up next. However, we've got a rest after this one still. I'm going to give Højbjerg a huge rest. Same as Chukwuemeka. I want them to fully fit for the first leg. As Chukwuemeka has experience against Bayern Munich when he was at Dortmund, and Burnley is a thrashing without them two key players. And Marcel regular hat-trick, and his shooting's not even good. It's just the quality of him and this team, as we've got 389 rated. We've got 4 players with over 10 goals, including Mehdi Mehmeti and John Goretzka with 8 goals from defensive midfield. Maybe I should be confident with the first leg, the home leg against Bayern Munich. And there you go. That's the result I expected. It's an Elise brace. A comeback against Bayern Munich. Istanbul before the final. If we even make the final, that is, of course. As I'm even questioning playing the game, as then we go to Wolverhampton, and at least the backup brigade do manage to see off the Wolves 3-0. And I've tried everything to motivate the boys. I've done the press conferences and everything, but Bayern Munich stepping into the Allianz Arena. And I saw by that graph, it's either Sporting Lisbon or Milano next. Come on, we can do this. 2-0. We've got a full 45 minutes and then another. And we've been turning over teams for fun in the Prem. 5-1 against Burnley. Come on, get that out wide straight away. We could use an early goal right here across the box. Chukwuemeka, goalie didn't even move for it. That's why I arrested him. That is huge. And I'm not even going to watch the replay. We need the minutes. The best start you could ask for as a Grimsby Town fan right there. Really need to keep on going though. Ferran Torres up front. He must be ancient. 8 seasons in. Have they got an injury or something as Dexter Elliott skips past his man? Ex-Youth Academy or still Youth Academy. What am I saying? That's a brilliant ball. Over to Regular. Take your time a little bit more as now we've got to get the ball back for time. Might pick up a card here. What colour card? Right, it's only a yellow. I'll always be worried as Dexter Elliott gets the ball back into Goretzka. Goretzka into Cameron Gardner. Gardner, I see the run of Regular, and that's a brilliant ball over the top, you know. Doesn't really have the support in the middle. Regular goes himself! What is the goalie doing? In the home or the ex-home of Robert Lewandowski, a Polish winger from Grimsby Town slips it past the goalkeeper. And that is half-time. I don't believe it. Comeback of dreams so far. We beat Arsenal. We're now top of the league. And we are doing Bayern in their backyard. Pinch me as I am dreaming. Adam Wharton. We've still got 45 minutes, though, and we are not winning. That's the key thing. Bayern Munich yet to have a chance, and when they did almost get one at the edge of our box, we took him out with Gomez Rodriguez. Thought Chukwuemeka was onside right there. Slipping it down the wing, and I'm so glad I actually decided to play this game. I was very close to not doing, as Pavlovic, Bayern Munich, stopped straight away, and Mehdi Mehmeti is now on the field. I wanted that just extra bit of pace, and we know we can score. As Regular looking for Cameron Gardner. Straying offside, but now Ibrahimovic. No, Akene, look at the strength right there. It's a dodgy pass, I'll tell you that for free. But look at the passing. We've got ourselves out of danger. Cameron Gardner. Dexter Elliott might reach that. We've assembled a squad here that's going to put up a fight against anything. Højbjerg into Musiala. Højbjerg, look at that. The tackle on one of the best players in the world. Absolutely phenomenal. But we need that 1-2 return. We get the return. Cameron Gardner. Chukwuemeka ran in front. Sayers with a brilliant tackle. I need to calm down because I'm actually playing worse. Now I'm a little bit hyped up. And Chukwuemeka round the corner. It is regular. Everything coming through him. Judges the tackle. He judges it very well. Urbig punches. We can't get a follow-up. But we will follow up. It's Dexter Elliott into Chukwuemeka. Chukwuemeka's took two players out there with a turn. The slide tackle hasn't reached him. Extra time written all over it. But a corner ball here. They're going to try our tactic. No, they're not. Because Elliott stops it. And we are very good on a counter-attack. Carney Chukwuemeka round the corner. Mehmeti. He's got away from his man right there. Elliott needed to keep on running, which he really didn't do. But we can cut that back into the middle. And look at Chukwuemeka's space. It is in the 83rd minute, for goodness sake. Carney Chukwuemeka. Jack Rutherford is a star of the show. But this man with his experience at Borussia Dortmund, the rivals of Bayern Munich, I had to shove into the squad. I thought I'd get the replay of him celebrating, but literally not conceded a goal. We were 2-0 down. We've gone away from home and we're winning 3-0. Oh my days. And the whistle's been blown. The whistle has been blown. Grimsby Town have blown my mind. We're in a Champions League semi-final. And we are winning, as it's going to be Sporting we actually play. Newcastle and Paris. That's going to be a very dodgy finale. If we make it. Keyword if. And we've got the Premier League. I'm yet to play a game in the Premier League, but we're going to have a 2-point gap. That's if Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest. Please do us a favour, Forest, and beat them, as it's West Ham, then straight on to Lisbon away, which I am desperate to play. And Mehmeti, what a man. What a mighty good man, as that is the Lisbon team that's dragged them this far. Rutherford still out of the starting 11 because of Mr. Champions League. Carney Chukwuemeka. You get them Champions League ballers like Messi and Ronaldo. And then Carney Chukwuemeka. 84 overall. Yet he plays like a 90, as we do have a 90 rated Gomez. I had no idea was on the transfer list, and we are playing a lot of teams lower down, like Southampton, where Sauda gets a goal and a card off the bench, leaving us 2 points clear at the top of the league, with 4 games still yet to go. Huge fish to fry here, though, and it's the Mariners, so we're used to doing that. Elliott on the ball, if he could score in this game. Of course, Rutherford on the bench. Chukwuemeka is preferred to start, as Anjos over the top. Into Trincao. We need to get across there. Högsberg does. We need him to put a good tackle in because he's fresh in for this game. And Sporting are picking up pockets. Okay, they already look better than Bayern Munich. Ryan is looking for a pass. And Ryan is at Sporting Lisbon since absolute when? That is a mental move, as at the second time of asking. Högsberg made the tackle and Chukwuemeka storms his way up the field. Regular has made a brilliant run. Regular across the box, and it is the original Cameron Gardner. It could be PSG we're facing. Or am I getting a little too ahead of myself? Obviously, a win here could actually end the series. Or not a win in this game, but in the next game if we make it there. Because Lisbon putting some passes together. Lucas Anjos, good tracking back by Regular. Because with 3 at the back, it doesn't mean that we're actually without fullbacks. Them two are going to act as wingbacks, him and Elliott, as that's a brilliant ball. Chukwuemeka across the box. That is a complete counter-attacking move. Sporting, you've come so far in the Champions League, but when the mighty Mariners are in town, you are going down. Oh, sorry, you're in town. Chukwuemeka, Champions League man, with the assist, and that is a speedy first half, with the Mariners' speed in front to a lead. Get in there, Adam Wharton. We can't just sit on our hands, though. We've got to keep on going in this second half. That first half was very quick. And we all saw what could happen. It happened against Bayern Munich in a half. A comeback can be mounted. Chukwuemeka! He made the first goal. Almost scored a rocket of a second. And they're making the change of Luis Guilherme. Is he the West Ham man? That was a terrible corner. And Gomez to hold the ball up. Chukwuemeka is sprinting forward. Maybe we try it again. However, he could get another assist. Drills it into Rodriguez. Brilliant turn. Francisco Trincao. Noah Kene's coming a long way to try and block that ball. Guilherme does run around him. Could potentially get themselves back in the game. But a catch by Gomez. And a little bit of hanging onto the ball means Grimsby Town are into the Champions League final. This in the first time of asking. And Newcastle. Right, I should be fearful for them to beat Paris. It's Grimsby versus Newcastle United. On the record, they are 7th in the Premier League as it stands. Not got them still to play today. Maybe I play Manchester United. Or whoever we could potentially win the Premier League against. We can still do that. And Chukwuemeka is now becoming Mr. Premier League as well. I do spare a thought for Rutherford though. He's been Mr. Grimsby, was our star academy player. However, you've got to look at that now being Dexter Elliott. He's younger, he's had to be loaned out, and he's had to wait for his chance. He's got a playstyle plus, could play any position, started as a right back, and does look, yeah, he could even be a striker if you asked him to be. A good player, as we can win the league here against Man United. But I am going to sim on, because we've obviously got the UCL finale to play, which means the save could be over, but a huge win at Old Trafford, or not Old Trafford, it's actually at us. Gardner and Chukwuemeka. Don't tell me I've cost us actually winning the league and not seen it. Arsenal are yet to play, meaning the next game we could win it in, which is Nottingham Forest at home. So we could be lifting the trophy at home. With Everton still to play after it, we could completely rest our team because this is working out perfectly. 4 points. Yes, we will win the league if we win the game, and Newcastle United are still chasing. Well, they're not actually. They're not chasing 5th position. They're a Conference League team if they don't beat us, which means they'll definitely be up for the game, but we've got to be up for it. We want to win a Premier League. And I think I kind of would hate myself a little bit if I actually didn't play Rutherford for this game, trusting him to do the business, and I'm actually going to give him the captaincy. Come on, lads. Come on, Mariners. We need to win. Please, just please. I don't mind if we lose the UCL. We get another season. Although, I kind of do mind. I do want to actually go and win it all this year. If we could do a double, it would be mad impressive. Without winning the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, they've got Asunciao with the build of Murillo. Okay, don't know much about that centre-back. I know we'll have to try and force him problems. Hudson-Odoi in the middle. Gali Mwendo almost catching us off guard. And Hergsberg. What are we doing right here, Mariners? Why are we just watching the ball all the time? As that is shocking, Jack Rutherford. Need to be better. He's got to have a mad performance to get into the Champions League finale squad, as Chukwuemeka's done really well. But I still am up for grabs with it. That could have been a moment right there. Hergsberg with a fantastic tackle, and Rutherford once again. Keep the ball, get it out wide into regular. Main man this season. You were regular, you could say, as there we go, Rutherford with the chance. Of course it went and fell to him, as I'm not going with the short corners anymore, not working. Burkhardt with the clearance. Hergsberg, no idea why he's on the edge of the box. The centre-back should be in the box, as Colwill. Again, he's on the edge of it, and Rutherford round to Wharton. Adam Wharton stinging the gloves of Raya as he's going to cross the ball again into the box. Milenkovic not cleared. It's a messy handball scenario. Penalty Grimsby Town and a chance to win the Premier League if we hung on to it. And score it as Rodriguez missed a penalty on his debut. All them seasons ago, he's hit the post and it's gone in. Let's get a replay of the goal that could win Grimsby the title. On my days, you don't get any more precise. He's still trying to catch up Rutherford, ain't he? Colwill, come on, let's get going. Let's go again. Let's go and pick up another win as Elliott through onto Rutherford. Rutherford just has that easy pass into Wharton. Come on, at the start of the second half, Adam Wharton has had some chances. It might fall back to him again. Oh my days, he was allowed all the freedom of it. We've got 10 minutes, lads. 10 minutes till we are Premier League champions. We almost were last season. Final day misery stopped us. Regular could have deployed that ball a lot sooner. Maybe put us under pressure. Not doing the simple thing, and backward tackle by Noah Kene. Adam Wharton returns it. No, Wharton, I can't speak in this episode. Blah, 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 blah. I am nervous. Elliott, round the corner. Rutherford, that's a beautiful ball. This in the 10 minutes of added time. Marcel Regular, the regular, I've made that joke multiple times, has scored such a vital goal. It was laid off in a path to the Polishman. And that should be the title, absolutely bubble wrapped. And guess what? it is. Added time of both halves. Who's going to lift this? I believe. No, it wasn't Noah Kenny. Of course it was Rutherford. I'm forgetting. My mind is like jelly up here due to the pressures we've been under. And does he get back into the Champions League winner squad if we make ourselves winners? Because that's what I plan on doing. I was going to say going back-to-back, but Everton first. I don't think it could get any more rotated if you actually tried to be. Only Water remains in the squad, and it will be the end of one player in particular. I am going to call back Basil. I forgot we had a TDM. Going to bring him back to give a rest to Wharton, but I was forgetting. Where is he? He's down here. Dara Burns. This being his final Grimsby Town appearance. It is saddening, and here's the stats of the Premier League. 24 goals for Gardner. 11 for Chukwuemeka, 12 for Mehmeti, and then 14 apiece for Alejandro and Marcel. With the other stats coming after this game, we are going to sim... Oh, and I actually forgot to take Wharton out. Oh, dear. I was simming Everton. At least he got a goal. Good for confidence. Hopefully not for fatigue. He's 88 rated, man. That's sensational, as most of the goal scorers don't change. It says at Old Trafford. I think the Champions League will change, as that's how the Premier League ended. It was 6 points clear, despite drawing 7 games and losing more than Arsenal. We've displaced the top 6. Potentially going on to win the Champions League as well, making this our final season with the major trophies. If we get the other one, as Crystal Palace beat us in the FA Cup, we can say we lost to the holders as the Carabao they were in the finale of. Europa League won by Strasbourg, Europa Conference League Marseille and Braga, with Premier League top scorer Rio Ngamoa, Caio Eduardo up there. Maybe I do a roundup of the teams, or the players, sorry, that have actually left us. Top clean sheets goes to Andre Gomez. As here's one main player that we didn't sign up. Championship Demba Dadier. Jadon Sancho is on the decline still. Good we got the profit for him when we did do. And then most of the rest of them have gone and retired like Cameron McJanet. However, the memories of him, priceless. We could recall Maldini Kakuri after rebuilding our team. And of course I've gone for Rutherford. I'd be stupid not to. He's just captained us to the Premier League. Took a little rest in the come-up to this final as Kakuri. He might reach an 80 rated. I never got to change his face, and we might have to loan him out next year, but at least if we do win it, we have him and Dara Burns sat next to each other as OGs. Oh, and player of the season. I didn't think this would be announced before the actual Champions League finale. Not one of our players. Don't care. Does he play in this final? I think he actually does. Yep, there he is, as I'm waiting to see the Newcastle lineup. These finished 7th. They've got their home dressing room. Okay, that's way too quick. Please show me right there. Very similar team. They've got Trubin in goal, Pedro Porro. Same midfield as usual. That must be getting old a little bit. Barcola, Elanga and Bonny. Nothing on our attack, which is 2 strikers. Cameron Gardner and Araujo. Mehmeti. I'm sure he'll get on the field at some point, depending on how we're doing, as this now feels like a main channel video playing a Champions League finale. Adam Wharton, test them early, or you'll never know if you can actually beat them. And at least we won in our home kit, the Premier League. So we've got their number, it says, in the top corner. Hopefully we can beat a team in black and white, whilst being the black and white army ourselves. Bonny is around us. Anthony Elanga, no, Bonny. Good block. Him and Wharton have been perfect at doing that, stepping into the defence. And Chukwuemeka out right there. Rutherford with a absolutely sublime turn. Tries to switch. Handball, surely? No. Wharton dropping into the defence, like I was just saying, to win that header. And Rutherford through the middle. Cameron Gardner can give him it back here. Regular. He likes that ball. Out to him. A quick counter-attack. And it's Rodriguez. Currently at this moment in time, doing the laid back walk as a celebration. Just absolutely pile on at the corner flag. As it stands, this Grimsby to glory at an end. And this double, I don't think it's ever lasted less than 8 seasons, or actually in the time frame of 8 seasons. It usually goes on for like 10 or 11. And Elliott wins it into Colwell again. Goroxtia. That is one of the swiftest turns I've ever seen. Rutherford gives it into Rodriguez. Elliott in swinger. It's an over. Oh no, never mind. I was going to say an overhead kick. I really want Cameron Gardner to score if we are to win this Champions League. First half done and dusted. Glad I went with Jack Rutherford. Played a huge part in that goal. with that pass out to regular in the first place. And Rutherford, space in front of him. Oh my days, it's hit the crossbar. Someone put that in the net. How has we not scored? Rutherford, no. No, that would have been a perfect ending, literally. But still, if we win both trophies, it will be. Look at the turn from Marcel Regular. He's on the ball. He's shooting low. We're at them. We're at them. We've got them on the ropes, lads. We've got them. We have got them. As Wharton towards the edge of the box and Regular again. We want this more. As Rutherford linking up with the other... I was going to say linking up with the other youth player, but then he messed it up. Hergsberg into Adam Wharton. Wharton across into Regular. Rutherford. There's chance here. We've literally got 4 minutes to still see it out, but it's Rutherford going through bodies. Now it's Cameron Gardner. We have been all over Newcastle. They'll still have time. And we're into the added time. Rutherford. Dexter Elliott. Could he score himself, Dexter Elliott? He likes to cut in. He likes to shoot. No chance, but look at the pressure. Look at the press we're putting on them. Hergsberg tried it to slide, though. We've had that problem with our centre-back all save, but Wharton. Cool and calm and potentially assisting. Cameron Gardner doesn't score! Dexter Elliott does, though. It was all the Jack Rutherford show. Dexter Elliott, a youth player, 2-0 to Grimsby Town. Newcastle United beat us. They beat us previously in a massive semi-final whilst we were still a championship team. But in our first season in the Champions League, feels like most of the main channel saves, we have won the Champions League. And of course, it's going to be Jack Rutherford to lift it high into the sky. And I guess, guys, that means it is the end of the Grimsby to Glory. I asked you guys to vote on a poll on the post tab. If you want it to be a European team next, or you wanted it to be another English team, well, you voted European. So I will see you soon for the start of a big save.